Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.
One thing about the Duke, I love to make my green go further. And certainly that's exactly what happens because I am a member of the Panera Bread Unlimited Sip Club. See, for only $11.99 per month, I get charged lemonades, iced and hot coffees, iced and hot teas, and fountain beverages. Okay, that's one every 2 hours throughout the day. So especially if I'm out and about on the road, I can stop off at Panera Bread, grab myself a drink, grab myself a sandwich, maybe one of their delicious pastries, you name it. But the whole idea is one charge for the entire month. Every 2 hours, I can go in, grab a drink. Why not? I'm telling you, man, it pays for itself. Visit your local Panera Bread or download the app. Check out the Unlimited Sip Club. That's right. You know, a common question that I get all the time is, Duke, what do you use to record your shows? And my answer is simple. Zencastr. Zencastr. Telling you right now, folks, it is a fantastic program. You can record either straight audio or you can do audio and video. And what's great about Zencastr, it gives you transcripts, so it's easy to convert that into press releases and what have you. Zencastr also offers a one-stop shop, so you can edit your show and you can host your show on Zencastr. And what's cool is not only do they have a free option to try it out, but they also have fantastic subscriptions. So what are you waiting for? Visit Zencastr.com right now for all your podcast recording needs. That's right.
You're locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke loves wrestling.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Welcome back to the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast, the show about pro wrestling and everything else. And let me tell you something, brothers, sisters, non-binary extraterrestrials, and everybody else in between. We are on the road to WrestleMania, and we're just a few short weeks away. I'm telling you right now, it is time for you to start making your plans, figure out your food spread, what are you going to drink, who is going to be in the room. When WrestleMania starts, you want to make sure that everything gets planned out from now so that when we finally get to April 1st and April 2nd, you can sit down and just enjoy the festivities. And that's where I'm at right now. Okay, I'm making my plans, Jack. I'm checking them twice. Okay? Yes, I'm naughty and nice. I want to have the most uninterrupted, fantastic experience of the year because I've earned it. That is how I treat WrestleMania. It is truly the big event for me. And I hope it is for you as well. And if it's not, then maybe you can start this year by treating it as such because you deserve it. Okay? Think of all the things that you've gone through over the past year for you to have an opportunity to just sit down and just be a wrestling fan, just get wrapped up in the whole excitement of seeing some of the greatest matches, the biggest matches of the year. Why not? Right? And why not have fun doing it? So again, get your favorite spread. Make sure you have your favorite people around or not, and just enjoy yourself, man. That's what it's all about. And you know, I've been checking out the chatter out there, and certainly the card is filling up, and we got some great matches lined up. And one match in particular really has piqued my interest. I'm talking about the World Championship matchup between Rhea Ripley and the Queen, the champ, Charlotte Flair. This is going to be a possible night stealer. This might be a weekend steal. This match is going to be a heck of a lot better than I think people realize, because there is so much riding on this match for both competitors. It can only be great because these two ladies, okay, I'm talking about Rhea Ripley and the Queen Charlotte Flair. These two ladies, they have already made it clear they're going to leave it all out there. This is one for the history books, folks. I'm telling you right now, take a step back and think about the history. Rhea Ripley, literally from South Australia, she has fought and clawed, has sacrificed to be where she's at now. See, Rhea Ripley, she broke into wrestling in 2013, a promotion known as Riot City Wrestling, aka RCW, which is an Australian independent promotion in South Australia. And let me tell you something. Blonde hair, have a little bit of size to her, big, beaming smile, and just hopes and dreams, man. That was Rhea Ripley. She battled her way from the bottom all the way to the top, became champion in RCW. It is somebody who toured the world, doing whatever it takes to gain as much experience as possible, because she knew one day that she wanted to make it to the grandest stage of them all, not just World Wrestling Entertainment. Rhea Ripley knew that one day she needed to make it to the main event at WrestleMania. Do you understand the challenges that this young lady had to face in order to accomplish this dream? Bear in mind, she's only 26 years old today, right? She started 10 years ago. Think about that. 16 years old when she's breaking into the business. A business that was never meant for her. This is a business that has been terrible to women. This is a business that doesn't give you anything if you don't fit the prototype. Rhea Ripley had to figure it out at a young age. She had to sacrifice time away from her family at a young age just to chase this dream. Not just a dream, to chase history, greatness. Rhea Ripley managed to stand out above the rest and get into the WWE thanks to the Mae Young Classic. Remember that? 2017. My goodness. Now, despite the fact that she lost to Dakota Kai in the second round, Rhea Ripley continued to impress folks when she debuted in NXT, and that was back in October of 2017. Through the years, this is a young lady that continued to push herself and really push herself to the limits. This is someone who looked around and realized that there are enough long-haired blondes, tanned up, a little bit of size to them. She was going to have to be different, man. That's where you get the leather and the chains and the tattoos and the piercings and all this, crazy rocker girl stuff. She had to do it to stand out. She didn't need to look like everybody else. And certainly it worked. It wasn't enough for Rhea Ripley to have the best quality of work. She needed to look different. She needed to walk different. She needed to talk different. All these things, which she does. Because she's not just there for a good time. She's chasing greatness. Rhea Ripley is someone who looked up to Charlotte Flair, is someone who went to Charlotte Flair for guidance, is someone who accepted all help from Charlotte Flair in terms of what does it take to be a WWE superstar, especially if you are a woman. So it is fitting that Rhea Ripley would challenge Charlotte Flair for the World Championship in the main event at WrestleMania. This is a culmination of all of her sacrifices rolled up into one. She can't just be in the match. She has to win the match. She has to take that WWE Championship and hold it up for the world to see and proclaim herself one of the greatest of all time. This is more than just one night, folks. This is a career. But in order for Rhea Ripley to accomplish these goals, she has to beat the champion. But not just any champion. She has to beat wrestling royalty. But not just any wrestling royalty. She has to beat the daughter of the greatest wrestler of all time. But not just any daughter of the greatest wrestler of all time. In order for Rhea Ripley to cement herself in the history books, Rhea Ripley has to defeat the greatest WWE women's wrestler of all time, the Queen, Charlotte Flair. And many of you out there, you have said so much about Charlotte Flair. Oh, she's Ric Flair's kid. Everything has been given to her. Oh, did she earn it? Oh, she's not giving this one a chance. Yada, yada. Let me tell you something. For Charlotte Flair, the main event of WrestleMania, she has to win this match. She has to defend her legacy. She has to prove the naysayers wrong. See, Charlotte Flair was never supposed to be here. Pro wrestling, WWE, this was never Charlotte Flair's dream. It was never her destiny. The fact that she has been able to work her way up all the way to the top with no equal, by the way, is incredible. And again, you got to understand the history. See, Charlotte Flair is not someone who was given everything. No, man. She had to overcome the odds at every single turn. Charlotte Flair had to overcome the odds of her parents divorcing. Charlotte Flair had to overcome the odds of her loving yet incredibly flawed father and all of his faults being played out for the world not only to see, but criticize. Charlotte Flair had to overcome the odds of potential alcoholism, which runs in the family. Charlotte Flair had to overcome the odds of domestic abuse at the hands of a former lover. Charlotte Flair had to overcome the odds of losing her brother, her best friend, someone whose dream was to be a pro wrestler like his dad. And Charlotte Flair took on that dream and is now accomplishing that goal and dedicating it to that lost brother. Charlotte Flair has to overcome the odds of being the daughter of the greatest wrestler of all time. The pressure that comes along with that. Being challenged by your peers who don't have the advantage of having the greatest wrestler of all time for a parent. Charlotte Flair had to overcome all of that. Multiple times, Charlotte Flair has had to overcome implants rupturing and nearly killing her in the process. Charlotte Flair had to overcome a significant dental issue. All of these things, in addition to being a woman in an industry that was never made for her, she was never supposed to be in the main event, in an industry where she damn sure was never supposed to be in the main event at WrestleMania. And through it all, Charlotte Flair has revolutionized what it means to be a woman in pro wrestling. Through it all, Charlotte Flair has main evented pay-per-views. She's main evented television shows. Charlotte Flair, by far, is the greatest WWE women's superstar of all time. Full stop. But that's not enough. See, Charlotte Flair has taken the time, as mentioned before, to mentor some of her peers, despite what naysayers claim, who don't know what the hell they're talking about, by the way. And one of the people that she's mentored is Rhea Ripley. Charlotte Flair is responsible for helping to mold and shape and improve who we see today as Rhea Ripley. So it is incredible that Charlotte Flair, playing Dr. Frankenstein, is now faced with having to fight back against who's possibly her greatest creation. This is personal. This is real. This is WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley are going to tear the house down. Not because they can, but because they must. Because they have worked so hard in their individual lives that that's all they can do at this point. Because they know they are setting an example for generations to come. This is about history. I am so pumped. I am so excited. I am so completely interested in this entire WrestleMania card thus far. And I am zeroing in on this match because I know what's about to happen, man. These ladies, they are going to sweat. They might even bleed. They're certainly going to pay the price of a WrestleMania lifetime. because that's what it's all about. So my question to you is, who walks out victorious? Will the dream of the young lady from South Australia be enough to carry her to defeat the greatest of all time, the Queen? Or will greatness prevail once again? Duke Loves Rasslin on Facebook, on Twitter, DukeLovesRasslin@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. Rhea Ripley or Charlotte Flair? Who walks out victorious in the end? There'll be more of these WrestleMania previews to come. In fact, join me next time, folks, when I preview Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Until then, be kind to yourselves and be kind to others. Take it away, Tony Schiavone.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.